Have you ever woken up with a gnawing sense of emptiness? Not hunger, not physical pain, but a deep, formless ache that whispers of something unfulfilled. Perhaps it's a phantom limb of longing for a passion you've abandoned, a truth you've suppressed. Maybe it manifests as a restless dissatisfaction, even when the external world seems to offer everything. You achieve, you conquer, you accumulate, yet the inner landscape remains barren. You chase one desire after another, each fleeting satisfaction leaving you just as empty as before, if not more so. It feels like a fundamental misalignment. It's a secret code written into your very being, a code you can't decipher. What is it, this relentless yearning? This elusive force that shapes a man's entire life? What if the answers were always there, woven into the fabric of our psyche? Yet we simply refused to acknowledge them. We live in an age drowning in superficial answers. Quick fixes for deep wounds, instant gratification for ancient hungers. But the greatest minds understood that true understanding demands a deeper excavation. For centuries, we've grappled with the raw, potent force that is male desire. We've called it ambition, lust, aggression, drive. We've tried to tame it, to deny it, to explain it away with biology or economics. But very few have dared to look at it for what it truly is, a primal current, a force flowing from the deepest wellsprings of the human psyche. Carl Jung, the Swiss psychiatrist, dared to chart the uncharted territories of the human soul. He left us a map, a series of intricate clues, hidden in plain sight, clues about the true nature of male desire. He spoke of collective patterns, of ancient energies, of forces within us, forces that dictate our every move, often without our conscious awareness. Yet, for generations, we have actively, stubbornly, profoundly refused to see them. We dismissed his insights as mystical, too complex, or simply inconvenient. We preferred the comfort of simpler explanations, even if those explanations left us feeling perpetually lost, perpetually unfulfilled. But the time for comforting lies is over. The unseen architects of desire, Jung understood that a man's desires are not merely a list of things he wants. They are expressions of profound, often unconscious forces. Imagine your psyche as an ancient, sprawling city. Most of us live only in the brightly lit, paved streets of the conscious mind. We see our immediate needs, our daily tasks, our surface-level ambitions. But beneath this conscious city lies a vast, dark labyrinth. This is the unconscious. It is filled with forgotten memories, repressed emotions, and, most importantly, powerful archetypes. These are universal patterns of thought and behavior. They are the unseen architects of our deepest desires. For men, two of the most potent of these architects are the anima and the shadow. The anima is the feminine principle within a man's unconscious. It's not about being feminine in a social sense. It's the contrasexual soul image. It holds a man's emotional life, his capacity for relationships, his intuition, his connection to the irrational. When a man's anima remains unacknowledged, unintegrated, it doesn't just disappear, it manifests in distorted ways. His desires become confused, projected onto external women, or he becomes trapped in cycles of superficial romantic pursuits. He might yearn for an ideal woman who doesn't exist. He might find himself inexplicably drawn to destructive relationships, always chasing a phantom. His emotional life feels chaotic, alien, unpredictable. He doesn't understand why he feels what he feels, or why his relationships continually unravel. He is driven by a desire for connection, for intimacy, for completion. Yet he keeps building walls. Then there is the shadow. This is the dark twin, the collection of all the things we deem unacceptable about ourselves, our aggression, our selfishness, our jealousy, our raw sexuality, but also our weakness, our vulnerability, our fear. Society tells us to repress these parts. We push them down, deep into that labyrinth. But these desires, these parts of us, do not simply vanish. They become autonomous complexes. They lurk in the dark, waiting for an opportunity to emerge. And they often emerge in explosive, uncontrolled ways. A man might feel a sudden, inexplicable rage. He might engage in self-destructive behaviors. Or he might project his shadow onto others. He sees the very flaws he denies in himself and everyone else. He might be intensely critical, judgmental, or perpetually angry at the world. The desire for power, for control, for dominance, or even for self-destruction often originates from this unintegrated shadow. We refuse to see these clues because confronting them is profoundly uncomfortable. It requires an honest descent into the dark corners of our own being. It means admitting that the source of our problems is not always external. It is often within. It means taking responsibility for the inner landscape. If this deep dive into the human psyche resonates with something you felt but couldn't name, if you're ready to explore these hidden currents, consider subscribing and joining this journey. The price of refusal echoes in relationships. Jung taught that when we refuse to acknowledge these inner architects, they don't just shape our individual lives. They cast long, distorted shadows onto our relationships. Look around. How many men are caught in a perpetual loop of misunderstanding? How many pursue relationships that leave them feeling emptier than before? This is the direct consequence of refusing to see the Jungian clues about male desire. Consider the unintegrated anima. A man projects his idealized feminine image onto every woman he meets. He is not truly seeing her. He is seeing his own unconscious, a fantasy. His desire is not for the woman herself, but for the completion she represents. The moment she fails to embody this impossible ideal, which she inevitably will, because she is a real, imperfect human being, the relationship crumbles, or he feels intense disappointment. He might swing from infatuation to callous detachment. His desire for intimacy is real, but his method of pursuing it is flawed. It's built on illusion. He might constantly seek validation, needing a woman to reflect his worth. This is the anima screaming for recognition. But through the wrong channel, it's a fundamental desire for balance, for emotional connection, for soul, yet it's expressed as a superficial quest for a perfect partner. Now, think about the unintegrated shadow. A man refuses to acknowledge his own rage, his own insecurity, his own weaknesses. He projects them. His partner becomes the target of his unacknowledged anger, or he becomes convinced she is cheating, controlling, or undermining him, when in reality, he is battling his own inner demons. His desire for control, for safety, for dominance is real, but it is expressed through manipulation, abuse, or constant suspicion. He may feel an intense, almost magnetic desire for conflict or for self-sabotage, pushing away those who try to get close. This isn't external evil. This is the unacknowledged, shadow-seeking expression, often destructively. This refusal to see these inner dynamics creates a perpetual state of conflict, both internal and external. Men struggle with addiction, with workaholism, with impulsive decisions. These are often attempts to silence the deep, unsettling whispers of the unintegrated self. The desire for meaning, for wholeness, is misdirected into destructive behaviors. We chase external achievements, material possessions, or fleeting pleasures. We hope these things will fill the void, but the void remains, because the true nature of our desire lies deeper. It lies in the integration of those parts we have pushed away. The price of refusal is steep. It costs us genuine connection. It costs us inner peace. It costs us the very fulfillment we desperately seek. We are left chasing ghosts. The perils of the eternal boy, escaping adulthood. Jung observed a profound pattern in men who refuse to confront these inner aspects. He called it the puer aeternus, the eternal boy. This isn't about age. It's a psychological state. The puer, or eternal youth, clings to adolescence, avoids commitment, responsibility, and the messy realities of adult life. His desires remain perpetually unfocused, scattered, and often immature. He desires freedom above all else. But it is a false freedom, a freedom from responsibility, not a freedom from meaningful action. He desires adventure, but often without true depth or consequence. He desires connection, but shies away from the profound vulnerability required for true intimacy. He is fascinated by possibilities, yet rarely grounds himself in a single reality. His life becomes a series of starts and stops. He moves from job to job, relationship to relationship, never fully settling, never truly committing. His ambition is often grand, yet his follow-through is weak. He talks of great things, but delivers little. This is a man whose inner anima and shadow remain unintegrated. His fear of commitment, his inability to face the dark, mundane aspects of life, stems from a refusal to truly grow up. He avoids the shadow of adult responsibility. He fears the feminine demands of deep connection and emotional vulnerability that true relationships require. His male desire, therefore, becomes a desire for perpetual escape. Escape from boredom, escape from pain, escape from the ordinary. He lives for the high, the new, the exciting. When the glow fades, he moves on. This manifests in many forms. Serial dating without depth, endless cycles of starting new hobbies and abandoning them, a dependence on mother figures or external validation. His desire for growth, for transformation, is real, but it is expressed as a fear of the very commitment that would enable that growth. He is stuck in a loop, chasing an ever-receding horizon of what if. He sees commitment as a prison. He sees responsibility as a burden. He sees emotional depth as a weakness. These are all clues that point to an unacknowledged inner world. Clues we consistently ignore. We tell ourselves this is freedom. We valorize the man who refuses to settle down. But Jung saw it differently. He saw a man stunted, a man whose true power, his capacity for deep love, for meaningful creation, for grounded strength, remains untapped. He is forever desiring, but never truly achieving. The adult male, by contrast, embraces the limitations of reality. He integrates his anima, allowing for emotional depth and genuine connection. He confronts his shadow, transforming his destructive impulses into constructive energy. He commits, he builds, he endures the path to wholeness, integrating the unseen. So, if we have refused to see these crucial clues, what then is the path forward? Jung's answer is clear, yet challenging. It is individuation. It is the process of becoming a whole, unified self. Not by eliminating the anima or the shadow, but by integrating them. By bringing the unconscious into conscious awareness. This isn't about becoming perfect. It's about becoming complete. The first step is confrontation. This means facing the aspects of yourself you have denied. Look at your repetitive patterns, your unexplained anxieties, your sudden outbursts, your destructive cravings. These are all signposts. They are the shadow and anima trying to communicate. What do you secretly resent in others? What qualities do you intensely dislike? Often, these are precisely the parts of your own shadow you have rejected. What kind of woman do you constantly seek? And why do those relationships always fall apart? The answer often lies in your projected anima. This is painful work. It requires radical honesty. It means looking into the parts of yourself that shame, fear, or societal conditioning have taught you to hide. It requires courage. The courage to look at your own darkness. The courage to embrace your own emotional vulnerability. The courage to be truly authentic, even to yourself. Once acknowledged, these parts can begin to be integrated. The shadow, when integrated, is not eliminated. Its raw energy is harnessed. Aggression becomes assertiveness. Selfishness becomes healthy self-interest. The drive for power becomes the capacity for leadership. The anima, when integrated, allows a man to access his emotional depth. He becomes capable of true intimacy, empathy, and intuitive understanding. His relationships become richer, more profound. His desires shift. He moves from seeking external validation to cultivating internal wholeness. He learns to connect with his own feelings, rather than projecting them onto others. He learns to be present, to truly see, and to be seen. This integration isn't a single event. It's a lifelong process. It requires ongoing self-reflection, dream analysis, active imagination, and sometimes the guidance of a skilled therapist who understands Jungian principles. It means understanding that your deepest desires are not just about acquisition or pleasure. They are about meaning. They are about purpose. They are about becoming who you were truly meant to be. This is the masculine journey Jung spoke of. The journey from fragmentation to wholeness, from unconscious drive to conscious intention. For those who are truly ready to dissect these ancient maps, to understand the raw mechanics of your own inner world, I've compiled a dedicated series on Jung's most profound insights. You'll find it linked in the pinned comment below. The mature masculine. Desire reimagined. When a man commits to this journey of integration, his desires transform. They don't disappear. They mature. The frantic, often destructive cravings of the unintegrated man give way to a profound sense of purpose. The poor eternus fades, replaced by the king, the warrior, the lover, the magician, archetypes of the integrated masculine. The desire for power shifts from external control to internal mastery. He desires to rule himself, to guide his own inner kingdom. The desire for connection moves beyond fleeting attraction to deep, abiding love. Love built on authenticity and mutual respect. He desires a true partner, not a projected fantasy. The desire for achievement evolves from chasing external accolades to creating lasting impact, contributing something meaningful to the world. He recognizes that true wealth is not just material, but spiritual, emotional, and intellectual. His masculinity is no longer defined by external standards. It is rooted in an inner strength, a strength born from knowing himself, from having wrestled with his own demons and emerged with greater wisdom. This transformation of desire is the ultimate clue Jung left us. It's the path to a profound fulfillment that external pursuits can never offer. It's the secret to moving beyond the perpetual restlessness that haunts so many men today. The mature masculine is not afraid of his emotions. He's not afraid of his shadow. He does not run from commitment. He does not fear vulnerability. He understands that these are not weaknesses, but pathways to deeper strength. His desires are no longer simply biological urges or societal pressures. They are conscious choices, aligned with his authentic self. They are the fuel for his individuation. He desires to create, to protect, to lead, to connect. But these desires are now grounded. They are directed by wisdom. They are tempered by empathy. This is what it means to truly see Jung's clues. It means acknowledging the deep, often uncomfortable truths about what drives us. It means embracing the entirety of who we are. Light and shadow, masculine and feminine within. It means daring to become the whole man. This is not easy. It is perhaps the hardest journey any man can undertake, but it is the only path to genuine peace, the only path to lasting meaning. Now, if this raw truth has stirred something deep within you, if a particular insight has ripped through your defenses, tell me in the comments below. What part of this conversation revealed a shadow you were refusing to see? What clue about your own male desire finally became visible? Your honesty is a step towards your own liberation. If this conversation has awakened something crucial in your own life, consider sharing it. There are others still lost in the dark, still refusing to see. Do not let these words simply pass through you. They are a call to action, a call to awaken the man you were always meant to be.